What's going on, YouTube? Just wanted to do an update of my Fluval Spec V. I'm having a brown algae problem. I don't know quite what's causing it, but I've upgraded my filtration. I got the flow on high just to kind of keep some of it moving around. You can see some of it on the plants and the glass and everything like that. So I've been using this magnetic algae scrubber, but I went and picked up a little hand scrubber today. I'm gonna get in here. I'm really gonna do a good cleaning and try and get most of this out of here. But the tank's in a little bit of disarray. Some of my plants are floating and everything. But the fish have all been doing great. They're very, very healthy and colorful. They're feeding well. They're still very shy. You can see a couple of the pygmy cory cats down here, but when I'm not right up on the tank, they're shoaling up together and everything. There's one of the Amano shrimp. So in this tank I have 5 pygmy cory cats, I had 2 sparkling gouramis. One of them, unfortunately died the day after we brought it home. I'm not sure why, but the remaining sparkling gourami is very colored. Very, very beautiful, colored up real well, feeding well. I don't know if you saw him just there on camera. He's very shy. And then I have 3 of the, I want to say Harlequin rasboras. I think that's what they are. I'll have to double check. But everybody's doing well. They're feeding well. I'll show you. I'll go over what I'm feeding them here shortly. But I'm not going to videotape myself cleaning and scrubbing this tank. Y'all don't want to see that. But once I start getting into it, I'll pick the camera back up and show you what I've done with the filtration and things like that. Right now, I got the flow on max to try and keep some of this algae off my plants. I got some snails from my local Petco. They just kind of gave them for free, and I have the big, where'd he go? The zebra snail or whatever the heck it is up there as well. My son wanted that. But I do enjoy this tank. I just need it to be a little bit cleaner looking. So with that said, I'm gonna get to work and try and clean this up, and I'll pick this camera back up here in a little bit and kind of go over some other things. So hold tight. Alright, as you can see, a good scrub really cleaned up the glass. It's probably just something I'm going to have to do for a little while until I get this sorted out. But I'm also going to start doing my water changes with about 50% RO water. Right now, this has just been straight out of the tap with like stress coat or something, or usually I use stress coat when I'm doing water changes because it does the same thing as tap water conditioner, but it's got all the extra benefits. Prime's also another one I use sometimes. I just don't have Prime right now. But I've pulled out all the driftwood. I'm going to scrub it pretty good. And still scrubbing some off the plants. But I've read that using RO water can help with the brown algae. So I'm going to give it a shot. I also want to take this moment to talk about my filtration. So let me pull this out. I upgraded to the in-tank filter box. I had this on my old specs. It comes with a skimmer, which you can also see in my hand. And you can really choose your own media. So what I've done is I cut off a piece of the foam from the stock filter and use it on the very top for mechanical filtration. And under that, I have a piece of nitrate reducing foam filter pad. I have some filter floss, or whatever you want to call it. And then I just have 2 packs of the Fluval Spec series biomedia. And then in the bottom, I have 2 packs of the Fluval Spec series carbon. It really does, I think, a better job than the stock filter. And you can set this up however you want. It's not the cheapest upgrade on the market, I think it's about 45, 50 bucks if I remember correctly. But, you know, I feel like it's worth it. It comes with the skimmer, which I also think helps. And really, you know, being able to kind of do what you want with your own filter media, I think is a big benefit. A lot of people build these themselves out of egg crate or different materials. It's not hard to do. I've also done that in the past on one of my specs, but, you know, I don't have that much free time, and I just went the route to buy this. And, you know, to me, it's worth it. So I'm going to put this camera back down and start scrubbing some of the driftwood pieces and get my scape kind of back to where I want it and try and get some of this crap sucked off the bottom. And then we'll be adding some water back to it. So hang tight. Alright, well, I got most of the plants and driftwood back in here. It looks a little messy. I suck at scaping, but I know the fish like to hide, so I was just trying to keep a lot of hiding spaces to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. I was hoping the Harlequin rasboras, I'm pretty sure that's what they are, I might be wrong. We're going to spend more time at the top of the tank, but I mean, they seem to be at the bottom and mid-levels with the cory cats and the sparkling gourami. So that kind of stinks too, but hopefully as some of these plants come in and the water gets a little bit better, you know, maybe they'll spend some more time. These beta bulbs, whatever they are, they're starting to get tall, so they'll go to the surface. I attached one of my Anubias to a piece of driftwood to see, you know, maybe that'll get their attention up top. I don't know. I'm still probably going to change some of these driftwood pieces up because they just look like a jumbled mess right now. But I'm going to go ahead and start filling the tank. And I'm going to, I don't want to shock them, you know, and throw off my water chemistry too much with going straight to RO water. So I'm just going to add a little bit with some of the treated tap water. And we'll go from there. And as time goes on, I'll slowly increase the RO water and decrease the tap water usage and try and get them acclimated better to it. But I'm going to hit it with the scrub a little bit more. As you can see, I got some spots I missed. But I'm hoping this will help me get rid of this brown algae crap because it is pretty unsightly. So I'm going to work on getting some water back in the tank, get everything put it back together, and then we will go over what I'm feeding these guys. And yeah, we'll go from there. Alright, well, I have everything put back together. Light back on, filter back on. As you can see, the tank looks 1,000 times better after scrubbing. I love these tanks because of how seamless they are. You know, everything's contained. You know, I've had issues in the past with some of these, so I definitely recommend upgrading the filter area, whether it's something you do yourself or not. I do have a small heater I'm going to be fitting back there as well. I only have 2 outlets over here, so I need a little splitter so I can plug it in as well. But again, this is Texas. I really don't need a heater for that many times, you know, I really don't need a heater except for the winter time, but I want to keep my water temperature pretty constant. So I am going to be putting one in here. Probably be picking up, you know, different plants. These are just kind of what I had on hand. After having this fern, whatever this is from Petco, the fish love to hide in it, but it's like a magnet for brown algae. But I'll probably leave it in here because, like I said, the fish like to hide in it. So redid the scape a little bit. I'm not thrilled with it, but whatever. We'll leave it until next time I have to do a deep clean. I cut the flow back by about half. The pump is adjustable, so I cut it down to about half. It was on max. Still a lot of stuff flowing in the water, but I'll probably be adjusting the return nozzle and getting the circulation the way I want it. But I'm not going to feed these guys right now because I did stir up a bunch of stuff on the bottom. It looks like the cories are already scrounging around like they do. These are some of my favorite fish, by the way. But what I do feed these guys is bug bites. These are recommended to me by the Fish Gallery, which is a local fish store here in Houston. A really nice, you know, higher end fish store. So I have bottom feeder formula. and then just color enhancing formula. And you know, this says for small to medium, this says for medium to large, but they're about the same size granule. I just make sure to crush them up real good, since, you know, we're dealing with nano fish. And then occasionally I will also give them some frozen bloodworms. You know, I just take a little tank water out and thaw like the smallest piece I can break off or cut off. I really wish they made bloodworm packs, you know, for smaller fish, instead of just a giant frozen block of nasty that you got to cut up yourself, but whatever. I am a man of convenience, but that's what I feed these guys. Here's the smaller mono shrimp, and there's a larger one. I want to get some sort of surface plant, you know. I don't know if frog bit would do okay in here with the algae. With the current, I mean. I definitely don't want duckweed. That stuff is a plague. But yeah, and I want some fish at the top of my tank, because the guys that were supposed to be swimming around up there don't. Let me see if I can find them. You might be able to see them in there. I should have looked this up. That's what I'm calling a Harlequin rasbora. It might be one of the Danios or something like that. I could be totally wrong. I don't remember these things anymore. But if those are coming up on camera, that's what I got, along with the sparkling gourami. And again, they're just inside of this fern cluster thing. So, I don't know, maybe some chili rasboras. I don't want to overstock the tank. I mean, I did upgrade the filtration, but I really don't want to overstock the tank. If I'm still having an algae problem, I'm definitely going to have to get some autosinkless, because they're the greatest algae eaters for small tanks. But, you know, I'm happy with it. It's a nice centerpiece for my cluttered counter, which I need to clean up. But yeah, so the RO water I got from another local fish store that's about 15 minutes away from me, if that, called the Fishbowl and More. They're a pretty nice store. Lots of good products and things like that. They're smaller. Their fish selection's okay on the freshwater side, but they do have a large saltwater side, side to the business, if that's your thing. So I got, 5-gallon jug and 5 gallons of RO water that I can use for water changes, and I can take the jug back, and it's like 35 cents a gallon or something for the RO water. But like I said, the fish colors have all been great. They're a little stressed out right now. I'm going to turn the light off when we're done with this video. But everybody's healthy. It's just the tank has been uglier than I would like it to be. So hopefully we'll do an update in about a week or two, and we'll see what it looks like, and everything will be great. I appreciate everybody who watches my channel. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends. Thanks.